The Conservatives had said the Chancellor Sajid Javid misremembered in claims he made yesterday to Sky News about homelessness. He was speaking after Labour said it would end all rough sleeping within 5 years if they win the next week's election.
Well, these are the comments that Mr Javid made to this programme yesterday.
Labour would say what they've said today. What they haven't said to you, I'm sure, is that homelessness reached its peak in 2008 under the last Labour government. Since then, it's down by almost a half. There's still a long way to go. We've still got work to do. But it's Labour that was responsible for the massive rise in homelessness. It was the last Labour government that was responsible for that.
Joined now by the former homeless czar, Dame Louise Casey. Good morning to you. He misremembered. Do you accept that?
I'm just absolutely disappointed, actually. I'm disappointed in him. Misremembered, lied, made mistakes. I mean, it's crazy for anybody to think that homelessness has not gone up in this country since 2010 by every single imaginable factor, whether that's the number of people sleeping on the streets, whether that's the number of children waking up this morning homeless, basically in bed and breakfast hotels, or in any other circumstances. It's absolutely clear that the numbers have gone up. And I think that what they've done is conflate and use lots of different data to try and justify their position of yesterday. And I am not party political. I've worked under different administrations at different times, but homelessness is something I feel incredibly strongly about. And we're running a campaign this weekend where, despite the general election, people all over the world and all over the country are going to be sleeping out, called the world's biggest sleep out. So I'm disappointed this has happened this week, ahead of what we're doing on Saturday. And I hope no more politics is played with lives of people that are vulnerable and out on the streets or stuck in temporary accommodation.
What do the actual figures tell us then, as far as you're aware, on the numbers? You say that there has been an increase and that the figures have only been going up, but what are the actual figures?
So, the actual figures, and these are government statistics, are, at the moment, as we sit here at the moment, the March this year figures for children that are in temporary accommodation, i.e. their homeless families, is currently running at about 126,000 children are in bed and breakfast or other forms of temporary accommodation. The number of people sleeping out on the streets is just shy of 5,000. I think it's 4,780 something or other. That's another government statistic. And all of those things are really clear. There was a height in homelessness under the Labour administration, actually in 2003, because they changed the definition of homelessness and widened it. So if he was going to say there was a height in homelessness, it was actually 2003, not 2008. So by any account, people are playing politics with something which is political. Homelessness is political, but they ought to get their facts straight and they ought to come up with some decent solutions.
Well, one of the solutions, as far as Labour is concerned, is their pledge to end rough sleeping. I think it's within 5 years. That's in their manifesto. Is that a realistic goal?
Well, the Labour administration and I worked as a civil servant in 1999 to 2002. We managed to reduce the number of people sleeping out on the streets by 2/3 in less than a 3-year period. So my question to Labour is, are they being ambitious enough, given that there is a way that you can reduce and help many people off the streets, but it does take cross-government action, it does take determination, and in all three manifestos at the moment, I'm not sure that they really know how to tackle the problem.
Very quickly, we're running out of time. Just tell us about the world's big sleep out happening tomorrow.
So the world's big sleep out is an extraordinary thing founded by Josh Littlejohn, who set up Social Bite in Scotland, and I'm doing my best to help him go worldwide. So on Saturday night, from New Zealand right across to Los Angeles, in India, in Africa, in the Philippines, over 50,000 people will be having a moment of solidarity by sleeping on the streets. We're here in London in Trafalgar Square. We want to raise money, but we also want a global moment of solidarity. And that's my disappointment with what's happened this week. People should be thinking about, how do they solve this problem? How do we raise enough money? How do we solve the problem? That's what the world's biggest sleep out is going to demonstrate on Saturday.
OK, Dame Louise Casey, thank you very much.